From making up their own terms to disguise the implementation of NFTs in their cozy farming game, to backtracking and claiming they never lied by quietly changing their website and hoping nobody would notice, to blocking me while spreading lies that I'm shitting on their game for simply telling you the truth about them. The Moonfrost saga seems to be coming to an end, but it's like kinda sad that it took the devs this long to realize that cozy gamers, heck, gamers in general, just don't want NFTs in their games. And the tea is real. There's so much that has happened that you guys need to know, so I hope this video does you justice, because I feel very vindicated. And before the crypto bros try to come at me, listen, if you want to dabble in NFTs, I always say that whatever you want to play, whatever you want to do, it's none of my business. My business remains what I said in my last video, which is I will always let the cozy community know when a developer is trying to hide NFTs in their games, and I'm never gonna change that. So after Oxalis, the developer behind Moonfrost, became more open about their use of NFTs in this cozy game, and you know, after many of you watched my videos covering the situation, a lot of you were taken aback because first, you followed the Moonfrost Twitter account expecting updates on a potentially fun cozy farming sim, but back then you did not realize that the term digital collectibles was used as a disguise for NFTs. And as I discussed on my previous parts of the series, I showed you that NFTs were gonna be a big part of this game, no matter how much the devs try to be like, oh, you know, you don't really need them that much. You do. And with this new video, I don't want to repeat what I said before. I want to focus on what's happening right now with Moonfrost and their community, which feels like apparently, allegedly, $6.5 million have gone down the drain. Again, allegedly, but I'm gonna pin both of part 1 and part 2 below the like button. Check them out first so that you can catch up and then watch this video next. And if this series has been helpful in any way, shape, or form, do me a favor and squish the like and subscribe buttons so that YouTube pushes the video to more cozy gamers who should know that this saga is hopefully finally ending. So, Moonfrost announced that they are leaving Open Loot. If you don't know what that is, this is a website, as it calls itself, the #1 place for trading NFTs. So it's a Web3 gaming platform and marketplace for studios to build games with NFT integration. Now, in a tweet on November 5th, the team said, after much reflection, we've decided to move Moonfrost off the Open Loot platform. Things have changed a lot over the course of the year, and it is no longer sustainable for Moonfrost to continue there. What does this mean for Moonfrost? We experimented, we learned, and we listened. Over time, it's become clear that Moonfrost can't cater to both a Web 2 and Web 3 audience simultaneously. We've realized that the game is too big, complex, and slow to develop for it to be successful as a Web 3 game. And that's okay. So we are excited to say that Moonfrost will launch on Steam as a premium PC game, with no crypto, no NFTs, and no tokens. We believe this is the best path forward for Moonfrost, giving it a home where thousands of players can discover it, play it, and fall in love with it. That is if people forget all of the shenanigans that you've done, then maybe. They continue to say, for everyone who supported us on Open Loot, thank you. We wouldn't have made it this far without you, which is why we have something exciting for you on the horizon. This separation will allow us to adapt to the changing landscape faster, creating games and utilities that keep your existing items and tokens meaningful, while giving us room to expand Moonfrost on Steam without compromise. We will be able to share more information soon, including how your items and spending will translate, along with eligibility and timelines. In the meantime, we ask for your patience. And even though, as you can see, the devs were like, listen guys, chill, we're gonna fix this, everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, even though they said that, the crypto community is not happy. So let's start with that. For example, we have Kate Irwin, who, mind you, I've never heard of them before, but based on their profile, seems like they are into crypto in games. They retweeted Moonfrost posts and said, Moonfrost ditching crypto after raising $6.5 million in funding isn't surprising, honestly. Cozy Gamer general sentiment around crypto remains negative, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Which is really funny to me because not only did people like myself, who do not support crypto, tell the devs that, listen, cozy gaming community does not want this, But seems like the crypto community was also aware of this and were sending them warnings, but nobody listened. And you can see this reply to Kate's tweet that says, "I don't think the attitude towards Web3 among Reddit gamers should be a surprise to anyone at this point. The problem is when it's too obvious and a selling point versus hidden to the extent that the majority never knows or cares. It's doable, and we convinced our Web2 games publisher of that as well." And this instantly reminded me as to what happened and why I have beef with the developers, which is, I hope that I'm misunderstanding the person, but based on my understanding, they're saying, you know what, it's okay to have the NFT in the game, but for it to work, it has to be hidden in a way that some people will know, some people won't, but you can't be too blunt about it. I really hope I'm misunderstanding, because if that is what you're advocating, that was literally my problem with this and why so many people also unfollowed the game, because not only do cozy gamers and gamers in general just don't want NFTs in their games, but also lying to them, hoping that they will never find out that that doesn't work either, and it's gonna have backlash as well. So how about we just keep the NFTs out of the games in general? Now, if you want to know how to keep yourself safe from stuff like that, I can tell you that Steam does not allow crypto or NFTs, so any game on Steam is safe to assume is free from that stuff. But games on places like the Epic Games Store might include those elements. However, as I showed you in my previous video, even though Epic requires studios to disclose the use of NFTs through specific tags, Moonfrost, when I filmed my video, did not use those tags. So yeah, like, I don't know, you just have to be careful and just maybe focus on games on Steam for now. Now we can see this reply on Kate's tweet, which takes like a little bit of a more different approach, and they said, well, they did go about it the wrong way. Going with open loot was a horrible idea for one. People keep saying that gamers hate the idea of blockchain tech. No, they hate being scammed and having stuff forced on them. In all my streams with Web3 games, 99% of people like the idea. So it's like they seem like they support Web3 games, but they're against scams, which I mean, like, thank goodness. But they're also against the open loot platform that we talked about. They also believe that not forcing gamers into NFTs would have been the better option, but based on what we saw from people who played Moonfrost in the previous video, we see that the mechanic was forced. And as we move through this video, I'm gonna show you more of what people had to say who played the game and they thought that the game at its core is bad anyways. But first, I wanted to show you this reply, so if you're like a bit cynical, you're gonna love this one. This person said, "So many things can be done with those 6.5 million funds." The last comment I wanted to share is this: raising money for Web3 gaming and building a Web2 game is fraud. Thanks. Better refund their investors and shut down instead of founders taking salary and burning funds. This is why a lot of people, as I'm going to show you, are claiming allegedly that this game might have been a scam all along. I don't know if it is. I don't have the proof for that, but that is what people are saying. So let's go back to the original message from Moonfrost, and you can see the sentiment in their comment section as well. So it's not only a reply to Kate's retweet, but we see people saying bluntly things like scam. We have another one saying another scam/failed Web3 game, but not surprising. Only a few games left before Web3 games are truly dead. It's just a countdown. We also have this one that says, so you scammed the Web3 players' money and exited? There's even someone, as you can see here, asking Open Loot to check on this scammer because, according to them, they were kicked from the Moonfrost Discord after asking the developers to return the boxes and all the money that they paid. This is the, what was it? The liquid lucky, something like that. And we're gonna take a deep dive into their Discord. You're gonna see that everything is just going down in flames. But before we get into that, let's talk about one more message that Moonfrost put out and just kind of see like what's the sentiment there as well. So here you can see that they're just trying to explain why they had to shift their game away from Web3. Cozy Gamer probably won't give two craps about this, but you still need to see it because now we also have the crypto community turning on these devs as well. And that raises the question, like, was this all again allegedly a scam after all? So Moonfrost wrote, the crypto market has changed a lot since we started development of Moonfrost back in 2022. Our original mission was to bring the masses to Web3 by building a game that's best in genre regardless regardless of being Web 2 or Web 3. What we learned along the way is that Web 3 and Web 2 audiences are completely different and want different things. Web 3 want to make money, Web 2 just want a good game. Moonfrost is costly and slow to make. We struggle to build fast enough to keep up with our players. In its current form, it is unsustainable. We need to move with the times and adapt to survive. So we can see that they still want to dabble in crypto. I mean, hey, if that's a hill you want to die on, just do that, I guess. But they want to move Moonfrost to Steam. So they said, announcing Frost Arcade, a pure Web3 gaming experience. An ecosystem of simpler games, browser-based, opening the doors to many more players, with leaderboards, events, multiplayer, co-op, PvP, and more. Being a leaner, meaner machine means we can build more, build faster, and deliver more value to the community. For exiting Moonfrost players, Moonfrost collectibles, workbenches, axes, pickaxes, fishing rods, moon charms, and gnomes will be usable in a variety of games and events and will have more life here than they've had so far in Moonfrost. Premium currencies such as liquid luck, cryo, gacha tokens, event vouchers, we will roll over your balance from open loot. Frost Hunter licenses, of course, these will have purpose here, more games, more perks. And yeah, even though like they're saying like, listen, we're gonna refund some of this, we're gonna shift other stuff, blah, blah, blah. The community is just really upset about it and they're just not happy. And we can see people are saying things like, you guys have already made it clear, you're grifters, just rip the band-aid off. You smelled as soon as you chose open loot and tried to convince me it was the right choice. I don't know what you smelled means, but yeah. We have other people asking for refunds, actually a lot of people asking for refunds. This one says, you literally rinsed the Web3 community the last month, dangling NFTs you knew were worthless. I know I spent in the thousands of pounds on leasing, buying, and liquid luck. You made a killing with it. You've already tainted anything else you bring to the table now. And this one is actually similar to another statement I will soon show you on their Discord. So apparently, the devs seem to have encouraged people to pour a lot of money into the game, and then they did something that is called a rug pull. So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, this means that the developers or the founders are gonna hype up a project, which is this, the Moonfrost and all of the NFT tokens, lucky, what is it, liquid luck, whatever, all of these. They're gonna convince these people to buy in, and then when they made a large amount of money through these sales, they just pull the plug. So the project either disappears, or it stops development, or there is a drastic change in the plan so that the people's purchases become worthless. And this is what they seem to be doing. They're doing a soft rug pull. They do not disappear, they're still here, but they are shifting the plan completely. And of course, like, I'm not even surprised. The developers, I mean, I've dealt with them before and I'm not surprised they're acting this way. They tried to, shut down their comments, but even if they did, people still have stuff to say and they're gonna make sure that they're gonna say it and you're gonna hear about it. So we have this Twitter user saying the crypto market has changed a lot since we started development. So they're quote retweeting the Moonfrost devs making fun of them and they're like, nothing changed. Moonfrost plan to leech failed. Web3 want to make money. The only folks who made money are you, rug lords. Check open loot, scammer team led by, and they tagged the CEO, and they said that the CEO is blocking replies too. And another user also called them out for closing their comments, and they said, why are we turning off comments? You don't want to hear what your community has to say about all this? I get you're trying to survive, and maybe this is the right move. Only you really know your runway unless you've shared it publicly. But turning off comments isn't the right move in crypto. Build in public, listen to the public, good or bad. I've been a long-time supporter of Moonfrost, but this stings a bit. Hopefully they can prove us wrong. And a really funny comment is from this person who seems to be a big supporter of crypto, but they're getting tired of this. And they were like, that's why I'm sticking to stable stuff and a few solid Web3 games. I'm just too tired, bro. Too tired. And I think this is really funny because companies big and small have been trying to shove crypto and NFTs into games when gamers are telling them we don't want that. And they don't listen. We even had Ubisoft tried to do that, and we've seen that all went down in flames. And now it's funny that the crypto community itself is also getting tired of it, because at the end of the day, no matter how much someone is going to support NFTs or they want to die on that hill, you just can't ignore the fact that there's a massive amount of alleged scams and failures in this space, and it's really big. And this is where now we can go to their Discord and see what is happening there because the tea is real. It's really funny. Guys, I think this is a really funny situation. I usually feel empathetic for developers and I feel bad for them, but for these people in like specifically, I do not feel bad for them at all. They tried to attack me. They attacked my personality. They spread lies about me. And, you know, they even went on a podcast. Gina was like, oh, you know, she's the victim. She didn't do this. And like, you guys have proof. You've seen what she said about me in the tweets. It is horrendous and all for what? For me calling them out that they're lying. So for me, I'm just like, I'm eating popcorn here. I'm just like laughing at this whole situation. But before we get into that, hello, you gorgeous human being. It's Miss Bubbles. If this video is helpful so far, do me a favor, squish the like button and share it with your friends so we can spread the word about this. So, thanks to our detective Kaiju, we got a closer look at what's happening behind the scenes, and I love that Kaiju was just like screenshotting everything because you need to see this. The developers posted the same announcement from their Twitter onto their Discord, and people were not happy at all. Some members are arguing between themselves, others are demanding for refunds, while like people be like, oh, refund for what? Or accept your loss. And then others are wondering what's gonna happen to all of their investments and whether their money is just gone. And while all of that chaos is unfolding, someone dropped this hilarious meme showing the Moonfrost community surrounding Rick, who's the CEO of Oxalis Games, and it's like Rick is just here trying to respond to everything. It's really funny. But it didn't stop here. It's really nice to see that people are speaking up about this game because we were seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about like, this is the best game ever and it's so good. But then you see people finally speaking up about it and they're like, the game is repetitive and unoriginal and it's just boring. So we have this person here who said that the game is just the same quest over and over again. The game is too monotonous. Rebuilding the town is the same quest again and again, and the mats you need don't even spawn fast enough. It's frustrating. I can't enjoy the decorations because I'm too busy grinding quests. And this comment really ties into what I told you in my last video. We had our channel friend, the Pillow Fort, play the game and they said that it felt it was impossible to enjoy the game without having to resort to NFTs. And I even told you how the stamina was gonna be linked to NFTs. And now we see the same thing with even the spawning of things. It takes forever, and I'm guessing they do that to encourage you to just spend more in the game. So this is basically like a pay-to-win cycle, and you're just gonna keep spending money more and more and more. And then we see these comments that show that the devs encourage players to spend more on NFTs right before doing the rug pull. And this also confirms what we saw in the tweet before. So one member said the developers really treated all players badly. They waited until the event was over to announce they were leaving open loot and moving to Steam. They made us spend money on liquid luck and countless other things, knowing full well that our NFTs would be worthless. It's a beautiful game, but it followed the same pattern as many others, disappearing after lining their pockets. It's so funny that someone also made this poll. They were asking if people are gonna play the game on Steam and the majority voted no. And the funniest part is that someone shared my video in their Discord and said, well, she did warn you guys, but you didn't listen. Which, I mean, yes, I did. And my biggest problem, and I always say that, I don't care what you do with your money. If you want to support NFTs, do that. It's not my business. My business is them lying about NFTs in the first place. And then also, it's about spreading awareness. Like, if you guys want to use NFTs and do all of that, it's fine. Just be aware that it's volatile and things like this will happen. And look, it is happening. What I warned you is going to happen did happen. So now the developers, you know, you can see them, they're clearly scrambling, they're trying to do damage control, they're deleting messages in their Discord, they're turning off comments on their social media, they're kicking out people, and they're teasing this new announcement, which is going to be interesting to see. We also saw that, you know, they have this new arcade game that is coming up, and Kaiju also saw that the developers are also working on some sort of like Moonfrost idle game, and this is where we can see this post here from Moonfrost's marketing lead, who was sharing more about the idle game, where they shared that they're not going to seek new funding for it and that people who held multiple NFTs will still see a benefit from it. And they talk a little bit about it and what they might do. And this was actually announced in October 2025. So before the developers announced that they're leaving open loot and moving the game to Steam and all of that. But it's just really funny because it feels like they're just digging their own grave, but it's not digging deep enough. You know, it reminds me of this friend that will come to you every time they're like, oh my God, I swear, Elijah, I swear Natalie, I swear Sally, I swear, I don't know, what's your name, but I swear this project is gonna be it. Just invest with, and you're gonna see it's gonna pay off. It's gonna be incredible. And this is like the 500th time that they've done it, and the money has just went down the drain. I'm pretty sure all of us have come across some sort of family member or friend or whatever that has tried to do that to you. But regardless of all of that, I feel like this comment sums up the crypto community's feelings perfectly, and honestly why, again, I've warned you about this game. They say another team who used Web3 ideals to raise over $6 million, then abandoned all their promise when it was no longer convenient. I hope Moonfrost fades into oblivion on Steam and the memory of the scam stays alive. The internet is written in ink. Ouch. Now, there are countless allegations that I've seen online that the developers took that money to support their lavish lifestyles. I don't know if that's what happened at the end of the day. I don't know. I don't know, but that's what people are suspecting has happened. And you know, the 6.5 million, it's going to be interesting to see where it's going to go and how much of transparency the developers are going to have to explain what their next step is going to be. But you know, I feel vindicated, especially because Gina not only attacked me and my personality, but you know, she spread lies and she was trying to cover up her tracks. The way that they went about this and posting how influencers are bad, her going on a podcast to whine about me and, you know, oh, she's the victim here and she didn't do anything. Just seeing this play out, I just feel so vindicated. The outcome to me is just extremely funny. You know, and I'm trying to feel bad for them, but I just don't feel bad at all. This is what happens when you lie. I literally had all of the receipts. I've shared them in video 1 and 2. Thank God, you know, as that person said, the internet is written in ink, and not only that, I have everything on video. You were captured in HD when you tried to gaslight me. I think it's well deserved, and I'm really happy that they're seeing this backlash. And if you supported Moonfrost, I'm interested in seeing what you think about this. And if you didn't, like, do you feel vindicated as well? Were you here from parts 1 and part 2? Let's talk all about it. I'm really excited. This is my favorite part, is for us to actually chat about this in the comments, and I cannot wait to see what you have to say. Thank you so much to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible. Of course, thank you Kaiju for helping with this, and a shout out goes to the game dimension, Jake Logan, who's Kaiju, Yugoslav, and Stella for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.